Okay, welcome to another 350XC-F build. I know you're like, another one, the Goldilocks of bikes. This is the 2024 edition. And the reason we like this one so much is that it comes with spring fork stock. And you can tell by this, AT82, brand new tire from Dunlop. And that's the focus of this build, of course. So we got the brand new tires. We did a themed Dunlop AT82 build for you with our 350XC-F. Okay, so we shot this thing with Dirt Bike Magazine, and you'll be able to see that right on the magazine and on the website. Really cool to work with Dirt Bike Magazine on this thing. And today we're going to be out here in the desert riding this thing. Spencer and I will be riding it. We'll also be comparing it to our 23 that has spring forks. It has a 6500 kit. So we're just going to be comparing some wet desert and having a good time on both these 350XC-Fs. Okay, so both of our bikes, even though they look a little bit different, are all very similar in mods. Other than the suspension I talked about, Racetech did both, but on this bike, the 24, it has the stock spring forks that come on it, which we think are going to be pretty good. We're hopeful. Racetech feels pretty confident that it's going to be as good as our 6500 kit. We have a lot of really cool bits on here. The main thing that performance-wise is the ECU from Jamie at Twisted. Okay, that ECU just wakes this thing up. On the gearing on these bikes, they come with a 47 stock. We went to a 49, went up 2 teeth, and we like that on our other bike. Seems like that's really good for this 350XC-F. We like that 6-speed, but adding those 2 teeth really makes this thing hook up. Okay, so as you can see, this thing rips through the trails, and it's just a blast in all these types of trails out here. All right, so hopefully you enjoy 350XC-Fs. We got some really good footage of Spencer and I talking about these things right now. Enjoy.
I for sure think this suspension is better than the red one you're on.
Choo, 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 choo. Okay, so we're back. We've been riding a bunch, had a great time, and I've actually been riding some different bikes, playing with map switches on this bike, and it's really incredible. Again, these 350XC-Fs are an incredible stock bike, and I think that this one with the spring forks is the way to go if you're looking 24. If you're looking for that Goldilocks bike that you can ride at the track or on the trail, desert trails, tight trails, it does it all. Now, this is where everybody beats me up. They go, you can do it all, and then you add all this stuff to make it incredible. Yeah, that's because I can, but I will say stock, it's still pretty dang good. So you can do all that stock. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the goodies we have on this thing right now. Okay, so we have the FMF on there, and the muffler is the majority of the improvement on there, but we have the header as well. And on here we have the 250 header, which is a little bit smaller. We kind of like that power better overall when we've tested it at the track as well. So we got that 250 header on there. We got the Recluse torque drive clutch in there. Really nice improvement here. Also for our bars and grips, we got the ODI MIG V2 lock-on grips. We got those on here. We like those. And then Moto Minded makes these new buttons. We don't really like the stock button on this side. We have a different brand on our other bike, and it's good too. We like this 2 individual buttons. It's just a way better, feel for us, and it's plug and play. And then we just have these flag mounts. These are UFO makes these, and DecalWorks has graphics to go right over that. And of course we have the ECU from Jamie at Twisted, and he has his settings here that we have made up a sticker that tells you the differences. And the white map, the top is his one, and then the bottom one will switch to whatever you have the X10 switch to on the Vortex ECU. So on the clutch, when I say torque drive, this is a conventional regular style clutch like stock, but just has more additional plates and is really durable. That's one thing we found with that clutch. It's not an auto clutch. A lot of people hear the term Recluse, they just assume that's auto clutch. They make other clutches as well, and we really like it on this bike. We got the IMS. It's a 2.8 gallon tank with the regular screw top. We're not racing or anything, so we have that regular top. And then Moto Seat made us a seat cover that matches our graphics for this AT82 look. Really nice. We have the Scar foot pegs, and then of course Pro X chain and sprockets. We have the X-ring on the Pro X chain, and then we have that 49 sprocket that I mentioned before. 49 tooth up to 2 teeth. I think it's a pretty good feel. For our radiators, we have ICW strengthen them up since it's apart. We'd rather do that than run braces. You're not adding a bunch of weight and rattle and so forth. So they do a good job of bracing up the radiators. We have our works connection bits for a little bit of bling pieces, and then we also have the rear axle block, which is cool. And then bulletproof designs make some of our protection pieces underneath for the linkage guard and the swing arm guard in the rear. And they also make a throttle, a billet throttle that is really cool. We've never really broken the stock cast one, but this thing is a little bit stronger and looks as, really trick. All right, so I brought in Spencer, and we're gonna talk a little bit about, comparing this bike to our other bike. The things are really close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Racetech about those. Racetech puts a number on the forks. It's like a job number, RT number, so you can have a reference. And so I like to make sure that they're both kind of the same setting. I think we went a little stiffer on this one because, yeah.
That's probably why I like it more.
So we're sharing, yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing's feeling really good. I think both of us. And the other bike, both bikes are incredible. The power is maybe a tiny bit better on this one. It's hard to tell, maybe just because it's new. But are you sold on 350s?
Oh yeah,
So
always have been.
Right.
Since I got off 300s like 2 or so years ago, I was like, yeah.
He says it like he graduated from a 125 or like an 85.
It's like that though. For me. I know there's a lot of guys out there who still love the 300s, right? And we rode a 300 today.
Yeah, what'd you think of the 300 when you would hop back and forth?
It's super good, and the power. Cause we were riding a Carb 300 2019, and it feels awesome. It's just like, 2-stroke grunt. But I hop on this thing and I go, that's a man's bike right there, and I can just go twist that throttle and it just takes off. I don't have to wait for any power band to hit or anything like that. So
it's a lot of grunt, and that's on these.
Yeah.
And with that with the two-stroke 300 that I was riding earlier, I have to be aggressive on that clutch and be on it up the hills, the tougher hills. And for me, that's why I think the 350 is good for a wide range of guys, and it's really good. And what do you think of the tires? Let's start with the front first.
Front tire is a huge improvement, I feel like, over the 81. And I feel just super planted. Even on the rocks, doesn't feel like it deflects as much as, some other tires. Sometimes we run motocross tires on here because we just beat them. But this 82 is honestly probably my new favorite front tire for trail riding.
It's feeling good. So far, conditions are really good too. So we're going to have to put a little more time on it, but it feels incredible on the front. And the rear, now that we're getting into this rocky stuff, where we were just on sand hills, and the rocky stuff, I think it's working really well.
Yeah, definitely more sold. Feels trackable. We hit a couple rocks, and I feel that this thing just grabs really well on the rocks as well.
I think it's a big improvement over AT81, and now this tire is going to replace AT81. But we run in this sandy desert stuff, we run an MX12 or MX14 now, that sand tire. We run that a lot in the desert stuff. So I'll be on the fence back and forth, depending upon conditions, I think. We'll run this maybe in between and some mountain stuff.
Yeah.
And so, and we'll be curious if we get a gummy version of this in the future.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So these bikes are really incredible. The only other mod I think that I failed to mention is we take off the air filter. We put a 2-stroke air filter cage in there. So we put that in there.
No screen.
No, with no screen, yeah. So a little bit more brump, like not just that umph we need.
Yeah.
So really fun bike. Hopefully you guys enjoy our videos, our content. Remember to check out our podcast, and that's on podcast platforms called That Moto Show, and you can look it up on podcast platforms or right here on our YouTube. You can like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. So check out our podcast there. Also, you can use our link in our description if you're going to shop Rocky Mountain, or go to our website and you can go through there, any of that kind of stuff. So anything else?
That's about it.
All right, feel good time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of this footage as well. We'll see you later on the track or trail.
See ya.
Oh, the seat's too soft.